Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let's talk about the Evolution PLE. Was it the best PLE of the year? I think, personally, it was the second best PLE of the year. Elimination Chamber was number one, sort of headlined by the heel turn of John Cena. There's just not much you can do to beat that. That is one of the most historic moments in the history of WWE. But I think Evolution number two, the PLE that happened on July 13th, is the second best PLE of the year from start to finish. I claimed before the show started that the triple threat match between Lyra, Becky, and Bayley should have main evented the show because it's the really only feud right now that has a really good story, that has a build-up, that has something that's really worth fighting for. Every other match is sort of pick their opponent. I guess Naomi and Jade have a really good story, but I didn't think that should main event because I don't think Jade Cargill is ready for that spot. She's not very good in the ring yet. And then we see Lyra, Bayley, and Becky open the show. Incredible match, really good triple threat match, really, really good. Absolute banger to open the show, and it stayed good, it got better throughout the whole show from there. Then we saw Jade Cargill beat Naomi, and I was a little upset about that, and I just don't think that Jade should be beating Naomi. I think Naomi is better. She's a better wrestler. She has a better character. She has a better future. She's going to be a world champion. All of these sorts of things. So I was a little ticked off that Jade Cargill won and Naomi lost again. And then we get back to the main event and we see Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley put on probably the best match of the whole weekend. And I say that because there was Great American Bash, there was Saturday night's main event, there was AEW All In, and then there was the Evolution pay-per-view. And this was the last match of the whole weekend of a jam-packed professional wrestling weekend. And Io Sky and Rhea Ripley delivered the best match of the weekend. And I didn't know this match was going to be... I understood that these ladies are amazing. Io Sky's top three, wrestler on the planet. Rhea Ripley knows exactly who she is. She's incredible in the ring, but there was no story. There was no build-up. He just picked your opponent. So that's why I thought the triple threat match should have been the main event because of the story behind it, right? Wrestling is about story and narrative. But then, you think okay, the cash-in, is it going to happen at Evolution? I thought the cash-in was going to happen from Naomi at SummerSlam, so I didn't expect that to happen in the main event. So I didn't expect that needed to be the main event because the story wasn't exactly there. But then Io Sky and Rhea Ripley wrestle for 25 minutes. They wrestle all around the arena. They have one of the best matches I've ever seen, the best match of the weekend. And then it's capped off by an absolutely incredible moment where Naomi cashes in her Money in the Bank briefcase. She makes that match a triple threat. She hits Io Sky. She hits her move. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Naomi is now the women's champion. Wow, wow, wow. I did not expect that. I expected a cash-in at SummerSlam, maybe night 1 and night 2. But since Seth Rollins got injured at Saturday night's main event against Seth Rollins, he was probably going to cash in at SummerSlam against a Gunther, potentially after beating whoever he might beat. We'll talk about that in a second. But now I think WWE really wanted to capture the momentum this weekend because AEW's pay-per-view All In was so good. They also announced they're running again head-to-head in August with, I think, Forbidden Door, and I don't remember the WWE show that they're running on August 24th. But WWE and AEW are going head-to-head. There is no bones about it. They're going after each other. At least WWE is going after AEW. They want to steal the momentum. They want to have the spotlight. They want things on them. And so I didn't process all of that. I mean, that's why AEW's main event went into the start of Saturday night's main event so that they could steal sort of the hashtags and the trends on X, which is very important when you're thinking about trying to garner the attention of professional wrestling fans. And so when it came to Evolution, that's why I thought Bayley, Becky, and Lyra should main event because that match has the biggest story. It'll get the biggest match. It's a triple threat. It's for a title, making the Intercontinental title really, really mean something. And you can have Io and Rhea in the middle of the show have a great match, but there's no real story behind that match. It's just a match. But they proved me absolutely wrong once again. WWE did a fantastic job of proving me wrong. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley put on a fantastic story, telling the story that Rhea just cannot beat Io. She is her kryptonite. It's just whatever she does, it just can't get the job done. That's a beautiful story, and that leads all the way into Naomi losing that match against Jade Cargill, being put through a table. That's why they did that in the middle of the show. You have 2 or 3 matches later. She recovers, she recoups. She still had sort of like some dried blood on her face. It was awesome. She comes out. She cashes in the Money in the Bank. She ends the show as the new women's champion. So I thought that was extremely well done. I was wrong about sort of my picks and my orders of the matches, but I get why they did it now, sort of hindsight. Of course, you know, armchair expert over here, quarterbacking, Monday morning quarterbacking here on Pro Wrestling Daily. But yes, it was amazing. Evolution, probably the second best PLE of the year outside of Elimination Chamber, and hopefully this momentum continues going into SummerSlam for the women and for WWE in general. And speaking of SummerSlam, we will have a gauntlet match on the July 14th edition of Monday Night Raw to find out who is going to face Gunther at SummerSlam. We just saw Gunther defeat, retire, and tap out and choke out Goldberg in Goldberg's best match in 22 years. He wrestled for over 14 minutes. It was Goldberg's best match in 14 years. It was amazing. It put Gunther on another pedestal, right? He's also going to retire John Cena in December. Hopefully it doesn't happen at a Saturday night's main event because there's just way too many fucking commercials and it's annoying, and Goldberg's retirement speech got cut off and that's disgusting, and like all these sorts of things. Just have it either on a Monday Night Raw or like where there's just not an absurd amount of pay-per-views where they get Gunther and John Cena to sort of get the last 25 minutes to sort of do whatever they want, no commercial breaks, and they go for it. And Gunther is going to tap out, choke out, and retire John Cena as well, which again is going to catapult him to another stratosphere. Gunther is the guy. He's my favorite wrestler. I think pound for pound, he's the best in the world right now, overall, in terms of story, narrative, wrestling, in-ring, all these sorts of things. He's not super good on the mic, but when he has to, he delivers. And now we're going to find out who he's going to face at SummerSlam. We know that John Cena is going to wrestle Cody Rhodes probably in Night 2 main event. Seth Rollins is injured, which causes a lot of problems for WWE. We wish him the best speedy recovery. He's an absolute workhorse. He's an absolute legend. One of the best to ever do it. Should give him his flowers on a consistent basis. Seth Rollins, please get better. We pray for you. Now, with that injury, there might not be a cash-in. Who's the Money in the Bank briefcase going to go to? Does it go to just someone else in his group? What happens? Now, I don't know if we're going to see Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 42. It just depends on the extent and like the severity of his knee injury, right? We know he had a knee injury before WrestleMania 40. He's had injuries before. He comes back better than ever. He works hard in the gym. He does all that type of stuff. So what's the severity? We don't know. When will he be back? I don't know. SummerSlam, maybe, probably not. But let's see how it goes. And then we have John Cena and Cody Rhodes, obviously. I think Cody Rhodes is going to win that match and dethrone John Cena, or we're going to see a heel turn from Randy Orton that costs Cody Rhodes the match. Then we're going to see Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud, and you're going to see John Cena have this sort of change of attitude, and he's going to go back babyface, and we're going to have that run the rest of the year. And then we're going to see who Gunther is going to face. I think CM Punk is going to win this gauntlet match on the July 14th edition of Monday Night Raw, and we're going to see, for the first time ever, Gunther versus CM Punk. Yes, they wrestled at a house show in a steel cage in December of 2024. Yes, but this is like legit first time ever. We will see Gunther versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of Night 1 of SummerSlam, and it's going to be awesome. And Gunther is going to chop, punt, kick, and and power slam and clothesline the shit out of CM Punk, and he's going to retain his World Heavyweight Championship. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.